What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Season of the Arrivals video. And today I'm going to be going over a weapon that you could get last season, but I just recently got a pretty solid roll on it. It is the Future War Cult Sidearm, the Enigma's Draw. Now, how to obtain the sidearm? Unfortunately, it is a random drop from the game world. You can literally pick it up as an engram. You can get it as a reward for, completing activities, from completing the weekly challenges that the vendors offer and everything like that. You cannot get it from the Future War Cult vendor. Unfortunately, I wish the faction thing is a whole different conversation, but that's how you can get it. Now let's go over PvE. I'm going to pull up the perk pool here, and you know what's weird is that when you look at the sights, they're all pretty much the same thing. It's whether you get an increase to range, stability, or handling pretty much, and I'd always opt for range on sidearms considering they don't get a lot, so I'd automatically go with that. You look at the magazine here, I would say maybe something like high caliber rounds or a pendant mag there. They're highlighting armor piercing rounds, which isn't bad. You do get that increase to range and over penetrate targets. Something else I would look into is something like extended mag, especially if you can create a solid build to this to where you don't have to reload very often. So let's look at trait column number 1. They're highlighting, let's see, Grave Robber. Grave Robber's pretty good. You basically get a melee and your whole magazine gets reloaded. Triple tap is not bad, but I think on a sidearm, it's probably not the best thing. Zen Moment, not great for PvE. Opening Shot, not great for PvE. Full Auto would be okay, but I think the most effective one in this column would be something like Grave Robber. And if we look at trait column number 2, it would pair well with something like Swashbuckler, which I have highlighted. So Swashbuckler is basically a damage buff. You get kills, it can stack up to 5, but if you get a melee kill, it automatically goes up to ×5, and then you can continue to do that ×5 damage and just keep getting kills. So that's why something like Grave Robber and Swashbuckler go together very well. You get that melee kill, automatic reload, and then you can just pump out a bunch of damage with a primary weapon, the sidearm. Other perks I have highlighted here is something like Demolitionist. That wouldn't be bad, especially if you're doing a grenade build. Something like Rapid Hit, doesn't really matter. Rangefinder, don't really need that in PvE. Then Elemental Capacitor is not even highlighted. It's an interesting perk and works on certain weapons, but I think on this one we have far more effective options for PvE. So again, if you want to use this in PvE, especially if there comes a season where sidearms are going to be like one of the meta weapons again in PvE, I would definitely get the Grave Robber Swashbuckler roll, which is what I have, by the way. Now let's go over PvP. Now I am going to be using my Grave Robber Swashbuckler roll in this footage because I did not get the one roll that I really wanted, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I'm going to keep grinding for it. So again, sight-wise, I would just opt for range. Magazine-wise, you do have the option. They highlighted ricochet rounds, which is probably the best option here. I would say second would be high caliber rounds. None of the other ones really get to me. Maybe light mag, because you do get a boost to range and a little bit to reload speed there. So maybe those would be your top 3. We look at trait column number 1. Full auto is an okay option. This sidearm is in one of the slower firing archetypes, so I don't think full auto would be necessary because you're not going to mess up pointing the trigger. But I would say something like Zen Moment stands out to me a lot. You do damage, you get basically a lot of stability, no recoil on the sidearm. That helps out a lot. They have opening shot, but I don't think opening shot is going to be super effective on the sidearm since you're going to be firing it very quickly. That first shot, yes, you get increase of accuracy and range and whatnot, but I think Zen Moment overall would be way more effective. Again, like I said, I'm using Grave Robber on this one, and I'm like, it depends on the build. If you have a melee build, it would probably work a little better. I was on my Warlock using a Tomb in the Sky, and you actually get like the throw melee, which is okay, but it might be more effective on something like a Titan with Frontal Assault or with Shoulder Charge or something like that. But again, I would say my number 1 pick here would be Zen Moment, and then probably, I would say full auto, but again, it's not completely necessary. We go to trait column number 2. The top one here is obviously Rangefinder. It is a sidearm, so you do not get a lot of range to begin with. Being able to aim down sight, you do get a little more zoom in, but with sidearms, I think that's okay, considering the zoom in factor is not that bad. And you get a massive increase to range on the sidearm. I would say your number 2 thing, if you wanted something with more stability, I would go with Rapid Hit. You hit some headshots, you get increased stability, which is very nice. And then Swashbuckler, which is the perk I was using, being able to have that extra damage, I believe can come in handy. I feel like a lot of people end up using something like Kill Clip or Multi-Kill Clip, Rampage, and Swashbuckler fits in with all those weapons if you have a build to where you're actually able to pump out more damage. Again, I guess technically the role I was using in PvP, it was more of a PvE sidearm, but I thought it was very effective in my opinion. I just wish I had one with Zen Moment and Rangefinder, because that would probably be the god roll right there. But in general, it felt very good in PvP. I would highly recommend testing that thing out. When it comes to something like Gambit, again, I would stick to the PvE side of things, just continuing to wipe out ads, you know, being able to have Swashbuckler ×5 up all the time, getting a melee, being able to have your magazine reloaded. And I would not do this. I would not invade with this. I would not recommend trying to kill an invader with a sidearm because you're just going to get beat out by basically any other weapon in the game. Just my final thoughts. I really think with this sidearm there's good PvE rolls that you can get and good PvP rolls you can get, and I would recommend testing it out because it feels really, really good as a sidearm. Alright guys, looks like we're at the end of the video. Just want to cover 3 things with you. Number 1, about support. If you're looking for the #1 best way to support me, there's a link below that'll take you to a 4-minute video that I made a while ago. If you want to go watch that, that'd be awesome. If not, it's definitely not going to hurt my feelings. You can also subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, follow me on social media with the links below, and all that great jazz. Number 2, regarding social media, I have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and a few others. If you would like to keep up to date on Destiny 2 related content, be sure to use those links below to find me on those platforms. And number 3, going over the clan, if you're looking to join my clan, we have some spots open on all platforms. We're looking for active players and community members in the Destiny community. And typically we like to play casual PvE and PvP a majority of the time. I'm definitely all about that solo grind, but I'm willing to definitely play with people in the community, like definitely willing to do that. If you're looking to join, there's a link to the clan page on the Bungie.net site below, and all you have to do is request to join and I'll approve it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time.